Hey there, it's Mike from CurrentWare. Going to give you a quick overview of CurrentWare, the CurrentWare suite, and what all of our products do. We have Access Control, which is device control, Browse Control, which is internet filtering, Browse Reporter, which is employee monitoring, and Empower, which is power management, all available a la carte or as a suite of solutions. First one we have that we'll get into would be Browse Control. This one is the internet filtering solution. You have easily the ability to set up a URL filter for a loud list of websites, block list of websites. If the users are able to access all internet sites, if you want to just block internet sites and only allow specific pages. So this is really good for a management standpoint of being able to control what web pages your users are going to. You also do have the ability to create it via categories rather than have to do a whole bunch of individual sites. So you may have something like social networks such as Facebook, Twitter, that you don't want your end users working on. Other sites, maybe adult dating. There's tons of categories that you can choose to disallow, and that just bulk blocks pages. On the same standpoint, you have the ability to block applications as well. Things like any type of torrent sharing sites, things like Spotify, any gaming applications, especially for home users where you may not be able to see all of their computers all the time. Very easy to just set it up in there and block it. Ties in really well with our employee monitoring software that will let you keep an eye on what they're actually doing throughout the day. And all of the blocks can be set up on a schedule. So you can have them run from 9 to 5, or you can just have them run 24 hours, completely up to you. Second solution is the access control solution. This is essentially being able to block and allow any type of device. You have the ability to block any storage or read-only those storage mediums, such as USBs, external drives. You also have the ability to control mobile phones from being connected to the computer. Things like scanners, cameras, Bluetooth, sharing. You can actually make it so that only Bluetooth audio devices are allowed. And all of these are done on a group by group basis. So you can have different policies across different groups. Some users can be more strict than others. You have full reporting on any of the usage, as well as you have an allow list. So if a user wants to have access to a device that you know is only kept on site and they use it every day, or it's just moving files from computer to computer, you have the ability to make it so that even with USBs blocked, they have the ability to move data onto that USB, and those can be individually allowed. And then you can also set up any of the reports to be emailed. Reports are essentially just usage reports. It'll take a track of any data that gets moved on or off the devices. So here you can see, got a SanDisk USB device. It shows me all the files with all the relevant information about what was done to that file, if it was moved, if it was copied, if it was created. And then you can also have alerts for if a specific device is used or if a specific file is moved. Next, we have Browse Reporter. This is the employee monitoring solution. It's got two key features. It's got a dashboard and it's got a it's got a static report page. So from the dashboard, that's more drilling up and down through the data. So you have all of the groups available, all of your users. These are the user accounts that would log in on the computer. You can choose your time frame. If you want today, if you want this week, last month, completely up to you how you want to do it. You can see all of the top 5s, top 5 usage, top 5 active, top 5 idle. If there's specific pages, you want to know who is going to them. All of these can be drilled down to, so you can get more relevant information on who are the users going to. Right now I have YouTube selected. Gives me a rundown of which ones and how long they were actively on the page. If I wanted to see actually what YouTube pages they were on, this can be shown by going to the user accounts and going into details. I can actually see the specific pages that they went to. So here I can see on YouTube, they were looking at some Amazon pages. Gives you a full breakdown of each page. And then you can also manage the productivity for reporting. Essentially, this allows you to see what web pages or applications they're using on a productive, unproductive, or neutral scale. All of this can be managed on your end with a productivity scale grading scales. So here you can easily see applications or websites that are being used and have been tracked by Browser Reporter. You have the ability to go in and set the grading for whatever page you want. You can do them in bulk, so you can have multiple selected at one time, as well as you can do it based on groups. So for example, something like Facebook or Twitter on a marketing team might be something that would be considered productive for them, but all the other groups would be unproductive. And there's also reporting on website data and application data. Going to the manage portion, all of these interfaces are going to stay the same across all of your solutions. So if you create groups in one, as well as you do have the ability to import via Active Directory. So with the run report feature in Browser Reporter in the manage portion, this is more static reports rather than the dashboard that allows you to go up and down through the data. This is essentially if you want to see application usage by hour, that's what it's going to show you. If you want to see sites visited, that's what it's going to show you. All of these reports, you have the ability to set up to be emailed on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. Can go out to multiple users at one time, and it can go out in a PDF or Excel format. There's also a weekly performance report that you can get, just a high-level view of the entire organization or users that you select. Ability to send out email alerts if somebody's going to specific URLs, hitting specific categories of web pages, or if they're idle for an excessive amount of time, and you can determine what that trigger is and what days, what time you want those emails to go out. Specific websites or applications, maybe business relevant pages, you don't really care or want to see it within the reports, all can be excluded. And if you do get into an investigative mode, you have the ability to set up screen captures. If users are hitting web pages, something like YouTube, you can see here, my Devin user on his Devin computer with a timestamp of when he went to YouTube, and I can see what page he was on YouTube. And then the last feature, Empower Manager. Empower Manager would be the ability to run reports on log on, log off history when the computer started up. Some basic power commands or settings, such as a power scheduler. So being able to automatically shut down the computer at X time, automatically restart or hibernate computers, being able to boot local computers, as well as some other small policy settings, such as when the monitor goes off, hard disk goes off, if it's on a battery, if it's plugged in, and being able to instantly send out those commands. But yeah, that's the CurrentWare suite in a nutshell.